He should have known better.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Do you really think?
He never would have thought of that himself.
You don't have to ask me that.
I'm no better off myself.
Hey! Don't work too hard.
I'll try.
Anything's possible.
It's a bad business.
Hey! How are things?
So. Those mercenaries aren't much help, really. I had expected them to have a little more guts at least. But they're just a bunch of braggarts and loudmouths, if you ask me. So what about those things I buried? Have you found them yet?
No, not all of them.
Then hurry up, will you? It can't be all that difficult.
What was your business with the mercenaries?
I already told you I'm looking for this fellow in red armor. But the idiots here have no idea what I'm talking about. What are you doing on my land? There's nothing here to steal. Clear off.
Isn't there a piece of land in this blasted country that doesn't belong to anyone?
Go to work. Then maybe someday you can call a piece of land your own. But until then, kindly loaf around somewhere else.
Listen.
I don't have any work for you at the moment. Now go.
Listen.
I don't have any work for you.
You
Just go.
Hey, you! Everything else all right?
Oh, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
Where do you think you're going?
I wanted to have a look around, that's all.
There's a heap of trouble here for men like you. Are you telling me you just want to look around? Ha! So you're headed for the farm. Why else would you have trudged all the way here, hmm? So don't give me any of that bullshit, and let me search you and you can go on your way.
Suit yourself. Search me then.
Now then, let's see what we have here. Ah, gold. It can be very dangerous carrying so much gold around. A lot of mercenaries are real cutthroats, not honest fellows like me. I only want 50 gold pieces from you. That's the toll here. And you only need to pay once. That's fair, isn't it?
And? How are things?
Not many people come this way, but up to now, every one of them has paid my toll.
What are you doing here?
I'm preparing for battle.
Why?
Lately, the farmers have had more and more problems with field raiders. A few of them even managed to get themselves eaten. Fat Onar didn't exactly find that amusing. None of us got our pay for a week, and it was more or less my fault. Now Lee wants me to wipe out the creature's nest by myself. And the other boys have already made bets on whether I'll survive.
Are you a good fighter?
I'm fair with a sword, but with a bow, I'm very good. Why do you ask?
Where's the nest?
In the middle of the field here, in the big rock.
We could attack that nest together.
You want to help me? Why?
I want to see some gold.
You bastard! You want to take advantage of my situation, huh? Either I pay you, or I bite the dust. All right, I can pay you 50 gold pieces. That's all I got.
Let's attack the nest.
Right now? Or do you need to equip yourself first? You could go back to the farm first.
There's no time like the present.
Good. Then let's see what you got. There's another of those scummy beasts. One less monster around.
Nothing to plunder.
One less monster around. One less monster around. So, this is where they drag the dead farmers. Disgusting. The filthy things should all be wiped out now. Let's go back.
Wait a minute. What about our agreement?
Are you kidding? You didn't do anything for it.
I think your hide could do with another tanning. I don't like having my leg pulled.
Don't make me cry. Oh man, my head.
Wait a minute.
All right, you're the better fighter. What do you want?
I think your hide could do with another tanning.
What the devil do you want from me now?
I just love to watch you kiss the mud. Nothing there.
What do you want?
I couldn't care less.
That's really not my problem.
I want to have a look around the farm.
Don't go into the building on the left. Silvio's in there.
Nobody will
He's not in a good mood right now. If he sees a weakling who doesn't belong on the farm, he might get the idea of venting his bad mood on him.
Been there, done
Of course we got him in the end.
Who is Silvio?
Our next leader, if you ask me. If you plan on asking him if you can join us, forget it. You look like you're barely good for herding sheep.
I couldn't care less.
He really didn't deserve that.
I'm staying out of it.
Tell me that isn't
He
true.
didn't get that from me.
Have fun.
I used to say that myself.
No better off myself. Don't tell me you didn't know that.
No secret.
He ran like Beliar himself was after him.
That's no secret.
That's been known a long time.
Hey, you! How are things?
Been there, done
What do you want from me, weenie?
I'm staying out of it.
How's it going?
That's none of your business, weakling.
No idea. You tell me.
Can you teach me how to handle two-handed weapons?
Listen, boy. It takes a lot of strength to wield a two-handed weapon. Why don't you slink off to the pasture for a game of ring around the rosy with the sheep?
Just listen to him talk.
I should get away with that.
No idea. You tell me.
I'd have gone about it differently. Nothing amazing.
What's up?
Since Onar announced he was hiring mercenaries, the court's been overflowing with nothing but rogues. All the rabble who didn't have the guts to come out of the woods before are here now. The bastards really came from everywhere.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
The mercenaries came from everywhere?
I never knew that.
Most of them came from the penal colony. Another group of mercenaries came from the south, where they were probably hunting orcs. I bet that a few of the bandits from the mountains have shown up as well by now to get a free meal. Huh.
I'm no better off myself. Don't tell me you didn't know
He
that.
really didn't deserve that.
He really should have known better.
Is it really
Don't
true?
have to tell me that.
As much.
I couldn't care less.
That was
Beliar
all
himself was
Doing all right?
Hey, I know you. From the colony. What do you want here?
Where did you pick that up then?
Don't tell me you didn't know that. Anything.
Can you teach me anything?
I can teach you a few tricks in handling a bow if you want. I don't have anything better to do right now anyway.
Said that.
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Or do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform, and then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
I'm staying out of that.
Been there, done that.
You hardly know who to believe these days. Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Done that.
I couldn't care less.
I've heard a thing or two.
Hello, pretty girl.
Just where did you escape from?
That's all just gossip.
Nobody wants to know.
That's all just gossip.
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves. The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
Know what to believe anymore. I've heard a thing or two.
That's not what I heard.
What kind of work is to be had here on the farm?
My father pays money to all the men who help defend the farm. Are you interested? You don't look like someone who has a passion for field labor.
How much does your father pay?
You'd have to negotiate that with him. All I know is that each mercenary here gets paid every day.
He really should have that worked out.
Are there any rules here that I should stick to?
You don't touch anything here that isn't yours. You stay away from the areas that are none of your business. And if you must pick a fight, stick to the mercenaries. If you start a brawl with the farmers, everybody here will be against you.
He really didn't deserve that.
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know. But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Show me your wares.
What can I offer you?
You really believe that? You never would have thought of that.
Couldn't get going on like this forever.
Nobody wants to know.
Nobody will learn anything from me. Nobody will learn anything from me.
Opinion about that.
Wait a minute. I do not sell any weapons. Khaled does. He's in the house with Onar.
What I heard.
As if I picked that up then.
Do you really think?
What kinds of weapons do you make?
Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I could forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here. Besides, in the Valley of Mines, I mean.
No.
Of course not.
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions?
That's all just gossip.
Some problems solve themselves.
That's the first I've
Can you teach me how to forge a sword?
Sure. That'll cost you a bit, though. Let's say 30 gold pieces. Got my own opinion about that.
Fine. Here's 30 for you.
And that was a damn good price, too. We can start as soon as you're ready.
Nothing amazing.
You should pick that up then.
Nobody ever asks me.
I don't believe this is
No
gonna change.
one really wants to hear that.
These days. Don't tell me you didn't
As
know
if I
that.
get that from me.
Teach me how to forge a sword.
It's quite simple. Get yourself a piece of raw steel and hold it in the fire until it glows.
Where did you pick that up?
Then put it on the anvil and hammer the blade into shape. Most important, watch out that the blade doesn't get too cold. You only have a few minutes at a time to work on your weapon. The rest you can find out for yourself. It's merely a matter of practice.
It's no secret.
That's all just gossip. I'm not telling you anything. That was obvious all along.
Teach me how to forge magic ore weapons.
As long as you aren't one of us, I'll be damned if I tell you the secret of the magic ore weapons. Only very few blacksmiths know it at all, and I believe that not even the smiths in town know anything about it. And that's a good thing, too. Otherwise, those boozers of the city guard would all be wielding magic swords next.
That's all just problem.
What about forging equipment?
What do you need?
I never knew that. I could hardly know what to believe anymore.
Do you really think?
Things I could tell you.
It's a bad business.
Just like you said.
He should have known.
You didn't get that from me.
Can't rely on that.
Wrong people. I'm not telling you anything. All that matters is
You have to feel sorry.
So don't tell me that.
Nobody ever asked him.
His decision.
That's all just gossip. Do you really believe
You have to feel sorry. It's exactly what I said. You know that all along.
No, that isn't true.
he doesn't see that? That's not what I heard.
You didn't get that from me. You didn't get that from me.
Been there, done that.
Never checked.
That should cause more trouble.
Is it really true?
I would have done for trouble.
You didn't get that from
I'm
me.
staying out of it.
What with?
Nothing amazing me anymore.
What with? What with?
Got no time for things like that.
What with?
It's been going on a long time.
Touching that.
Hey, you! Hello, I'm new here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not really in the mood for conversation. I'm totally wrecked.
You're awfully busy, huh?
You can say that again. Bennett makes so many weapons that I can hardly keep up with the polishing.
Some problems solve themselves.
What can you tell me about the farm?
This is Onar's farm. That big building is his house. He vacated a wing for the mercenaries. We farmers have had to bunk in the barn ever since. But it's all right with me. It's good that we have people who guard the farm. The building here is the kitchen. Maybe you'll be lucky and Thekla will have something for you to eat.
It's better to watch out.
What about the mercenaries?
Onar hired them to keep the city militia off our backs. But they also guard the farm, the sheep, and us farmers. So don't even think about stealing anything or rummaging around in somebody's chest. They're just waiting for a chance to knock you down.
Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
Do you really think? As if I didn't have enough.
I've heard a thing or two. You don't have to tell me that.
That's not what I heard.
It's exactly what I said. You should have known.
You have to step in.
No one really wants to hear that.
That's not what I heard.
Where did you pick that up then?
Is it really true?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Right. What do you want?
That's all just gossip.
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. Two factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
I'd have gone about it differently. Do you really believe that?
How come there are two factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then, but some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the Yorks. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Silvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city. He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
Don't say you didn't know that.
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here and wants to take advantage of the situation. Plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. But Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
What are you doing here in my kitchen?
Something smells delicious here.
Oh, yes. I know the likes of you. They're swarming all over the place. First, they try to get on your good side, and then when you need them, they're nowhere to be seen.
I'm hungry.
I don't dish out food to tramps. I only feed people who work. And that mercenary riffraff, of course.
I'm looking for work.
You want to work here on the farm? Only Onar can decide that. The farm is his, and so is the entire valley.
I couldn't care less.
I need a place to sleep.
Don't even think about sleeping in my kitchen. Go find yourself a place in the barn.
Rely on that.
The two of us should have a chat.
I wouldn't know about what.
The two of us should have a chat.
I wouldn't know about what.
How's it going?
Have I given you permission to address me?
A lot of people talk about you.
A lot of people talk too much.
What do you think of Lee?
Oh, he's a good fighter. I wouldn't ever want to pick a fight with him. Unless, of course, it couldn't be avoided.
Silvio doesn't like being talked to. You might have gathered as much by now.
Put down that weapon! Put down that weapon!
Let that be a lesson to him.
All that matters is strength. So don't tell me that. Is it really true?
What are you smoking there?
Want a toke?
I agree with you completely.
Sure.
To ask me that. That's totally obvious.
Can't believe that.
That was no big deal.
I agree with you completely.
It can't go on.
Not bad, huh?
Where did you get the stuff?
Just have to listen.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Do you really think? You already know what I think.
Got my own opinion.
I used to say that myself.
That doesn't surprise
I
me.
have my
You
sources.
don't have to ask me that. You have to feel sorry for the poor guy.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
That's not what I heard. Nothing amazing.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Do you really think?
Not at the moment.
Got my own opinion.
And there's more, believe
That's
me.
been known a long time. That's really not my problem.
Let's wait and see what happens.
That will never change.
I agree with you completely. Will it ever change?
Those are all just rumors. It can't go on like this forever.
Do you really believe
But he knew that all along.
Nothing's ever going to change that.
Hey, you!
Can't rely on
How are things?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
Let's wait.
It's possible.
I used to deal in swamp weed back in the colony. Remember?
Anything from me. That's totally decision.
And what are you dealing in now?
Ah, don't ask. I brought a whole package of swamp weed with me from the mining colony. Many of the mercenaries like a little smoke now and then. I've earned a small fortune on the side. But some bastard stole all the weed from my chest. I'm pretty sure it was that Bodo. He bunks in the same room as me, and he always grins at me like such an idiot.
What are you going to do about the thief, then?
One of these days, I'll catch him puffing away on my weed. And then, I'll find a quiet spot and teach him a lesson he won't forget. If I knock him down here in the middle of the yard, the other farmers will notice, and I'll pay an arm and a leg.
How come?
Quite simple. We can't rough up the farmers, otherwise Lee makes us pay a heavy fine. That's the way Onar wants it. And the more witnesses there are, the more of a fuss there is. That makes things more expensive. So I'll pull the thing off nice and inconspicuously.
Show me your wares.
I don't have any swamp weed at the moment. Do you want something else?
You don't have to tell me that.
Some problems solve themselves. That won't cause more trouble.
Cypher told me that someone stole a package of swamp weed from him. Would you know anything about that?
No.
That's exactly what I said.
Where's the package?
What do I know?
Why haven't I heard about this before? Nothing's ever gonna change that.
I'll knock it out of you.
Relax, I'm way too stoned to fight with you. Here, first take a big toke.
True. He never would have thought of that himself.
Where's the package?
What do I know?
I couldn't care less.
Those are all just rumors. There've been all kinds of rumors.
No idea. You tell me.
Some problems solve themselves. I could have told you that.
Same old thing all over again.
You should have known. I could have told you that.
Things I could tell you. Nothing you can do about it.
You have to feel sorry for me as if I didn't have known.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Hey, you! I know who took your weed.
Who? Was it that Bodo?
No, one of the mercenaries did it. Dar.
That bastard. Where is he?
Finding him won't help you. He doesn't have the package anymore. He sold it in Corinus.
Where is he?
Behind the kitchen building on the corner.
I'll flatten him.
Things I could tell you.
I could have told you that.
Sooner or later.
Nothing's ever gonna change that. That's exactly what I said.
There's more, believe me.
I feel sorry. Some problems.
Happen sooner or later.
Nothing you can do about it. Nobody ever asked.
Thanks for
Why
that.
haven't I heard about this before?
Just have to listen.
Wait a minute.
Agree with you completely.
Anything possible.
You really gave Dar what for? Are you feeling better now?
Yeah, that felt good.
Not to him, I suppose.
The little beggar has no business going through my chest.
I don't want to hear anything possible.
Blabbermouth, you told Cypher I took his weed.
Let's wait and see what happens. I would have done that.
Where's the package?
What do I know?
Nothing's ever going to change that. It will only cause more trouble.
I used to say that myself. I'm no better off myself.
You have to feel sorry for everyone here.
What do you want from me?
That himself.
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity in ranged weapons.
Don't say you didn't know That's no secret.
I want to improve my abilities.
Never would have thought of that himself.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Things I could tell you. Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that?
Hey, where do you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
Onar pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
What do you want from him?
That's no secret. Nobody will learn anything if he doesn't see that.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Fresh cannon fodder. Then go on in. Lee's in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else. But above all, leave Onar alone. He doesn't like it when people talk to him without being asked. Especially not guys like you.
And there's more, believe me.
Where did you pick that up, then?
Who the devil let you in here? What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
What makes you think that?
Gorn told me it was you who brought down the barrier.
Yes, that was me, all right.
Got my own opinion.
I never would have thought that a man could survive something like that. What brings you here? You aren't here without a reason.
Can't believe that.
That's been known a lot.
I absolutely must talk to the paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the paladins?
That's a long story.
I've got time.
Zardoz sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
How can you help me get to the paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the paladins, and you'll do me a favor. But first, join us.
What exactly are you doing here?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions. And the less the paladins have to eat, the sooner they'll listen when I finally make them an offer of peace.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
All that matters is strength.
Sure.
He got caught by the paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with paladins and orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
That's really not my problem.
Everything fine with you?
If it's something important, go talk to Lee. Otherwise, leave me alone.
That's the first I've heard of it.
In a long time.
It was just like
That's my problem. Do you really believe that? Nobody will learn anything from me.
Who let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm?
That's really not my problem. Do about it. Listen to the wrong people.
he ran like belly himself.
I want to buy a sheep.
What are you doing here then? See a sheep anywhere? If you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right of my house. Have Pepe sell you one.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
You listen to the wrong people. I'm not telling you anything new. It's all along.
That was quite obvious.
I don't want to hear that. Say that myself.
I want to...
What are you doing here then? If you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right. Have...
That's all just gossip. I agree with you completely. But no, he insisted he knew better.
Got my own opinion about that.
Totally obvious. He doesn't even know how to hold a
He thinks it's as easy as
That's
that.
not what I heard.
That's nothing new. You don't have to ask me that.
I'm staying out of it.
Do you really believe that?
if I didn't have enough problems.
Let's wait and see what happens. That's all just